On this episode of the 5P Podcast, I, your host, Michael J. Penney, am sitting down with Mr. Dave Burlin. He owns Burlin Enterprises. You can find him at davemeansbusiness.com right now. Also, if you're checking out the show notes, we have his link tree in there. Dave is a Marine veteran turned business leader. He's been involved in business development, leadership training, sales and marketing training, and a whole host of other different things. He is also the city leader at Bunker Labs, Las Vegas. So we're going to touch on a little bit of that there. Also, he's helping veterans get into business for themselves. So without further ado, Mr. Dave Burlin, welcome to the 5P Podcast Show.
Mike, man, thanks for having me. Great to be here.
Absolutely. It's always so good talking with fellow Marines. So thank you for coming on here. This is fantastic. All right, so let me ask you, what is that problem opportunity that you see out there in the environment right now that you're tackling?
Well, the biggest problem right now, as we come out of quarantine and everyone starts going into their own phase 1 and phase 2 is, man, there's estimated 20 million people or more that are out of work, that aren't passing out business cards anymore, that aren't connecting, that aren't growing their businesses, that aren't growing their book of business. So the immediate problem for me is, how can I help? So many people have relied on stabbing people with business cards every networking event that they go to.
Right.
And for me, I know especially somebody who became a statistic myself, I know the power of relationships. So the immediate problem right now is, how do we teach people to connect on a different level? So that's what I've been focused on for the last couple of years.
That's fantastic. Okay, so you run your own business, and I understand that. All right, what is the mission of your business, and then how that focuses in to a greater extent in how you help our fellow veterans?
Absolutely. For me, the mission is pretty simple, right? It's to inspire people to maximize their full potential, right? That could be in business, that could be in their personal life, professional life. It's really so that they can live the life that they deserve. And I know that's a warm, fuzzy type of feeling, but when we get down into the tactics of how do they do that, it starts with relationships in business. So essentially, I help people maximize their relationships to create more opportunities, right? And that could be in the niche of growing their business, right? So when it comes to hiring and company culture and things like that, a lot of times it turns into sales. I've got a very diverse background in sales, but there's a better way to do it, right? Instead of just stabbing everybody with a business card, making everybody a prospect. So how do you connect on a deeper level? So maximizing their potential through relationships is really, really the mission. And obviously how that converts into what I do for veterans. As I started growing a business back in Tulsa, I helped an organization grow into 10 cities. Wow. Every city that we tried to open up, the first contact that I started to make in that community was veterans. So I've been helping connect veterans to resources for 6 or 7 years now. As I became a city leader with Bunker Labs, now it's an opportunity to bring both worlds together. So how can I really focus my energy on connecting veterans to the resources and connections that they need in a military community? But then there is a lot of crossover. So there's a lot of people. I love the idea of 5-paragraph. There's a lot of businesses that need us. So I'm able to bridge that gap between business and veterans on both sides. So that's how it all ties in.